Hi everybody and welcome to another Hobby Hussy video. Today I'm going to be making a creamsicle pie. And these are the basic ingredients that you'll be using. This plus Cool Whip. I forgot to put Cool Whip on there. But we start out making Jello basically, only you don't add the cold water. You just add the hot water. So I am opening up my orange Jello. And it takes me a minute to get it open here. But I pour in the very hot boiling water into the bowl, and then I add the Jello powder a little bit at a time so it doesn't get clumpy. And I love orange Jello, and I love creamsicles, and I love basically anything orange. I am not actually stirring this very fast. The video is just sped up a little bit. After you're done doing this part, then you put it in the fridge for an hour. And now I am starting on the cream cheese filling portion of the recipe. And you start out with 2 blocks of cream cheese, 2 8-ounce blocks, I think it is. And these need to be softened already so they'll mix in the mixer very well. And I'm adding a little bit of sour cream. It's 1/4 cup. And I mix this for a little bit just to kind of soften up the cream cheese. I started out on low so I don't make a huge mess. And now I am adding a cup of powdered sugar. I'm doing it 1/2 cup at a time so I can fit it in there. And also I'm adding a tablespoon of butter. And I put this in the microwave really quickly off camera so it turned to liquid for me. And I put it in 1/2 at a time. Start out slow on the mixer and then get faster. And I'm putting in a teaspoon of vanilla to give it more of a creamsicle taste instead of just cream cheese flavoring. I'm adding some more, the rest of the butter, because it needs to be a little bit thinner. And I'm adding in like 1/4 cup of Cool Whip to make it a little bit thinner as well. And I'm going to mix that up. Start on slow first and then speed it up. And I'm scraping the bowl, and then I scrape the mixer blade so I can get all of this cream cheese goo into the bowl. And here I have a graham cracker crust, and I don't know if this was in the original picture of ingredients or not, but here it is. Undo the little foil and make it all stand as straight up as you can, the foil around the edges, because it makes a very good dam for the Cool Whip later on. But put the first layer, and you can layer this any way you want. You can, start out with the orange or start out with the cream cheese or vice versa. But I'm doing a layer of cream cheese and then a layer of the orange and then another layer of the cream cheese. It's kind of a reverse creamsicle, I guess. But put the first layer in and smooth it out. And I add some Cool Whip, like a cup of Cool Whip into the Jell-O. And this Jell-O is already set. It's been in the fridge for an hour. But mix it by hand for a second and get it just kind of folded together. And then I get my stick blender and pound on it for a little while with the stick blender. You'll kind of see what I mean. But just get it all blended into this really pretty orange color. And it's kind of the consistency of cottage cheese when I get done with it. But this tasted really good. I got to lick the bowl afterwards. Don't overmix this because it will liquefy on you, so just barely hit it with that stick blender a few times. Don't like sit there and just hang on to it. And you can mix in a little bit more by hand if you have to. But this is my middle layer. And I am putting it in there, and then I smooth it out as best as I can. It's not something that you can smooth really, really well. It's, very cottage cheese like, so it doesn't have that really smoothable quality going for it. And then on the top, I add another layer of the cream cheese filling. And you kind of have to spoon it on and then spread it out. And I did kind of mix in a little bit of the orange, but that's okay. This was just for my family. I just thought I would record it the first time to show you how easy it was. But spread it out. Get it over all of the orange stuff with the spatula and spread it all the way to the edge. I think it's not very pretty if you let the edge of the tin show. And I make cakes sometimes, so I'm just kind of all about making it kind of pretty instead of ugly. So I go all the way out to the edge with the cream cheese filling, so there's no tin showing. And then I use the knife, just a plain old butter knife. I should have probably grabbed my big old icing knife and done this, but I didn't. So use the back of a butter knife because that's the straighter edge. The other one's kind of U-shaped. Took me a minute to figure that one out. So make it as smooth as possible. And then we put it in the fridge and we let it chill for 2 hours or so. And now I am grabbing an icing bag and a tall cup, and I'm putting a very big star tip in it. And this is the kind that doesn't even require the collar, so you know it's a pretty big tip. So I cut my bag down to size a little bit because it was huge. I fold that over the cup. This is a trick that we use in buttercream frosting, so I thought I would use it here. But put some Cool Whip and shove it down in there as best as you can. And I put just about all of the Cool Whip I had left into this bag. And Cool Whip is very hard to shove down in places. But do the best you can. And now I'm starting to do a border around the edge of the pie with this big old star tip that I've got in here. But just go all the way around. I'm not going crazy or anything here. I'm just wanting a kind of a fancy little border. And I'm used to doing this kind of stuff on a Lazy Susan, so it was a little bit hard to get around everywhere. But now I'm doing some dollops on here just to kind of give it a little bit more pizzazz, I guess. And now I am putting some little mandarin oranges on there just to kind of garnish it a little bit. And those are kind of hard to get out of that little package. And I'm trying to put one between all of the dollops. And I was trying to put a few in the middle, but by the time I got them all out of the little package, they were like really ugly and I couldn't put that on top of it. Even though this is just for my family, I didn't want this big old blob of orange stuff just sitting in the middle. But this is what it looks like when it's finished. And I thought I would try to cut it and show you what the inside looked like. And I rarely do this well, but I gave it a try. And I actually managed to not mangle it all to pieces. So here it is. Here's my piece of pie. It's something I would take to a family reunion, but I probably wouldn't enter it into a contest. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching another Hobby Hussy video. And please like and subscribe for future videos. Thank you.